Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2023 ski test. Today we're going to talk about the Black Crow's Justis. This ski is really cool and in my opinion pretty darn unique. There are a lot of skis in that category. It's 100 underfoot, uses a little bit of metal, rocker, camber, rocker profile. So you could say those things about a ton of different skis, but there are some elements to this that make it unique. Relatively simple wood core in this ski that's supported by Black Crow's double H-shaped metal laminates. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on camera, but when you're holding it in person, it's pretty easy to see. There are these H shapes, and that's dictating where the metal is in the ski. So full width metal underfoot, and then kind of tapers just to along the edges, and then ends right as you're reaching the tips and tails. And something that's cool is basically where the metal ends is a good indication of where the rocker begins. And that, to me, is kind of what sets this ski apart from many. So we only have a single ski here, which makes it a little harder to look at rocker profile. But the tail rocker starts about there, and there's actually a decent amount of splay to it. It's not quite as long as the tip rocker, but it's pretty darn close. And that really is what's separating this ski from most other skis in the strong 100 millimeter underfoot all mountain category. So super versatile. You can say all the same things that you can say about any of those skis, Enforcer 100, Stance 102, stuff like that. This does have more tail rocker than most, so you get the combination in this ski of something that feels very strong, very stable, very powerful, but also something that feels relatively maneuverable. Relatively maneuverable and relatively playful too. Now I say that and I think it's important to kind of take it with a grain of salt, because you do need to be a pretty strong skier in order to get that playfulness out of it. Some skis you can put anyone on and they're going to be like, yeah, that's really fun and playful. I would say an intermediate might get on this, or a less aggressive skier would get on it and think that thing's a tank. So you kind of do have to hit that advanced expert level tier to get its true potential. Now that's reflected in its weight. This is the 183 centimeter length, and we're almost hitting 2,100 grams. So it does have kind of more of that playful shape to it with the amount of tip and tail rocker, but it's a pretty darn heavy, strong, and even relatively stiff flexing ski. If you were to flex this back to back with like the Black Crow's Camix, it's a world of difference. So that's kind of how you want to think about it, and how you want to think about its application and who it's going to be best for is you should have strong ability. You should be an accomplished skier in terms of your technique. You should also be a strong individual, an athletic skier, somebody who likes to ski fast, down the fall line, that demands a certain amount of stability and vibration damping from your skis, but you don't want it to feel like locked into a turn. If you were to compare it to, say, something like a Mantra or like a Kesley MX98, there's so much more rockers, particularly in the tail of this ski, that it does allow for easier edge release. I've even had it in some deeper snow conditions, and I think it's a whole lot of fun, even as a powder ski. You're not going to get as much float as like a Nocta or an Atris or an Anima, but reasonably good float. In fact, I would say better float than most skis that are 100 underfoot. So that's kind of something to consider too. You're getting a little bit more playfulness, you're getting a little bit more float, a little bit more soft snow performance, but it's still very strong. It's still right up there among the strongest skis in its category. So that's it. That's the Black Crow's Justis. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we'll see you out there on the hill.